take off, take flight with you. For we never fly, but we're flying.
Hi guys, welcome back to episode number 172 of Take Flight podcast. And as you can tell from the title, this is a Take Flight Takeaways episode hosted by me, Shuwel, one of the 4 members of the Take Flight podcast team. Now, these takeaway episodes are short, bite-sized episodes of around 10 minutes where each of us take turns to share some takeaways and learnings which we think would be of value to others. In case you haven't checked out any of these takeaway episodes before, I highly recommend you go back and check them all out. Now, back to this episode, I will be talking about the journey of investing in myself and spending more than £100,000 in my self-development in 3 years. I will break down in this episode, 1, the context of investing in myself and why I believe it's important. 2, the specific areas that I've invested in myself since 2019, totaling over £100,000. And 3, most importantly, the tangible results that I've seen and delivered. And closing the episode with some recommendations at the end on where to start, no matter where your budget is. So to start off, let's have some context. So from 2012 to 2019, I was working for a multinational company within the pharmaceutical industry and one of the largest companies in its segment. Now, to give a picture on how big this company is, its annual revenue last year was just under $50 billion with a market cap of $200 billion, which if you take all the market capitalizations of every company on the globe that's listed, this company would be in the top 50, so very big. Now, between 2012 and 2019, I worked in Switzerland, which is the headquarters of this company, as well as spending 2 years in Tokyo, Japan. Now, the company spent a lot of money on my development, international trainings, coaching, etc., because it was important to develop the talent you have in a company. However, it didn't click that despite the company spending money on me, I wasn't investing any of my own money on myself. So then I realized, right, all large companies, they spend billions every year in a line item called research and development. And research and development expenses is essentially trying to invest in the company's products and pipeline for a better future. Now, companies like Amazon, Google, Apple, the company that I worked in, they were spending tens of billions of dollars every year to invest today for a better future. Yet here I was, not spending a penny of my own money, which is crazy to me now. So what was the trigger to start investing heavily? 2019 was the year, and since then I've spent over £100,000. So in this next section, I'll explain the 3 areas that I invested in, why, and most importantly, the results. So example 1, which is in 2019, and it was in real estate. Now, I've spoken in detail what I've done in real estate through Ahmed Capital Group, which is my company called ACG. On episode 129 last year, I went into even more detail of how we've gone from 0 to over 3 million. But this was really the trigger point for me to understand the value of investing in myself. Now, during this period, I spent £10,000 to join 2 real estate networks that provided training and material, as well as accountability and mentoring. And with that, I also spent an additional £5,000 traveling back and forth from Europe to the UK to join these sessions in person. Now, why did I do it? So at the time in 2019, I had 2 properties and I thought I knew everything about real estate. But then I realized there must be a better way to do it because I had met people who had been able to acquire way more than me while earning less than I was earning at that time. And I realized I really needed to push the ego to one side and cultivate this learning mindset and learn from others who have done it on how they're doing it. Now, 3 takeaways from this investment of investing in myself in the real estate area. So 1, it opened my eyes up to the power of spending time to create a good team and build relationships. Now, this has ultimately allowed me to really scale while doing everything abroad. This would have been impossible without learning the value of spending time with the team. 2, it also showed to me the power of telling everyone around you what you are working on, what you've done, and what you're planning to do. You cannot expect people to read your mind and assume that they know what you're going to do or what you're trying to do. So tell people and then watch how the doors open. And then finally, it really opened my mindset up to be able to collaborate with investors and raise finance while providing a win-win scenario. Now, at that point, I would have thought it's crazy. Why would investors invest in me? What can I give them? How can I grow? But during these events and networking opportunities and trainings, I realized that I can create a blueprint to not only scale ACG, but also work with partners and give them a very sizable return as well. So, most importantly, are the results. So, after investing in myself to learn more about real estate, since 2019, around that period, we had a portfolio of around £300,000, and now we've grown to over 3 million, while building relationships across the industry and raising more than £1 million from investors. So this would have taken me 10 years to do if I tried to figure it out myself. But in the end, it's only taken me 3 years. And now we've got a foundation to build on forever and keep growing, while still only being a part-time interest to me. Investing in myself enabled that. Now, the second example I wanted to share. Next up, after seeing the results of investing in my knowledge for real estate, I wanted to take things up a level. So, example 2, in 2021, I applied and got the opportunity to study at Cambridge University, doing a part-time master's in business. So, some context for this example. This master's cost £74,000, so a heavy investment. It was also a 20-month commitment, so a lot of time that I'm investing also. And on top of this, I've probably spent an additional £15,000 on travel costs and accommodation, flying back into the UK every month and staying at Cambridge for our study weekends. Now, why did I do it? It's been on my professional hit list since 2012 to undertake an MBA, but I wanted to find the right environment where I could study and apply the things that I'm learning at the same time. Now, Oxford and Cambridge has been a dream for me from a young age. However, now after almost a decade of international corporate experience and a proven track record, I was ready and had the profile to apply for this program. I also wanted to enhance my professional network, which at that point had been predominantly in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. But now with this investment, I had the opportunity to network and learn from over 120 leaders. In our cohort, the average age is around 37, 38, so a wealth of experience in the group. We had more than 30 different nationalities represented. And in terms of those experiences, we had people that were entrepreneurs, leaders in NGOs, to investment bankers, consultants, Navy SEALs, and everything else in between. So what was the result from this investment? So 3 results that I could notice. 1, the chance to learn about leadership styles and different ways to lead organizations. During this time of studying at Cambridge, I had relocated to Copenhagen in Denmark and had the honor of leading a multi-million-dollar business and an amazing team. Now, we closed 2022 3xing our sales target. Now, this course gave me the tools to be a good leader and enable my team to deliver the results. The second set of results that I saw was learning the skill set of taking prioritization to a new level. Now, I thought I was organized before, but when studying part-time in the UK, managing the ACG team in our real estate endeavors in the UK, living and working in Denmark with the company that I was working for, and to drive a successful launch, and then still trying to find the time to work out, spend time with my wife, family, my prioritization skills had to really take a step up. And I had to really learn even more where to focus quickly and just go. Again, having to manage this was a great learning and skill set that I've developed. And finally, the other area of results that I saw from this investment was opening my eyes up to bigger opportunities. Now, through the course at Cambridge, I had met through my class and also speakers that came to speak to our class, industry leaders in multiple segments, people who had founded businesses worth billions, to chairmen of family-run businesses that had been going for over 100 years and generating £2 billion in revenue. Now, there is nothing like hearing and seeing about these opportunities in real life and the people behind them. And ultimately, this helped me to think bigger on where I want to play next. And that brings me to my final example in terms of my investment in myself. And that's bringing us back now to today in 2023. At the moment, I'm in the process of entering a new sector that I will be building out on. And I can't share yet what it is as we are finalizing the details. But in the last 3 months, I've spent already just under £10,000 together with my business partner on accessing materials to learn about this space. And I actually have some here, which just got delivered this morning. As well as that, I've also had the opportunity to attend a very intense training course while also investing in joining networks of people who are doing what we're trying to do in practice. Now, this venture will encapsulate all the professional experiences that I've gained during the last 10 years, and it will be my primary focus, so I'll also continuing to build ACG in parallel. Now, I'll share later in the year what we are doing and the results we expect, and more to come. But essentially, I'm taking the blueprint that I've seen with real estate and in Cambridge, which is to invest to learn first, get the network, apply the learnings, see the results, iterate, and grow from there. Now, all in all, that's more than £100,000 I spent on myself during the last 3 years, where the pattern and data is clear for me. The more I spend on me, the more I learn, the more value I provide to those around me, and the bigger and better the results I'm able to deliver. And God willing, I will spend 10x this by the end of this decade, with the pattern continuing. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of money, right? And there are many ways that you can invest in yourself, professionally and personally, in a much more cost-effective way. Now, I've excluded from the examples that I've shared all the books that I've bought, spending money on travel experiences around the world that opened my eyes up to what's possible, having access to podcasts like Take Flight Podcast, along with thousands of other shows in podcast format or YouTube videos. All of this you can access for free. So there is so much information and great content out there. I think now in 2023, there is no excuse to not learn anymore and become excellent in your chosen field. I think the most important learning underpinning all the above, no matter how much you're spending, is the importance of having a student mindset and the appetite to keep learning. So no matter what level you're at, if you're humble enough to develop this, there really is no limit to how far you can go. So that's it, guys. Hope that's been helpful. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn, Shuwel, or Instagram at Shuwel1. Please make sure to check out our previous takeaway episodes in case you haven't. And if you haven't done so, please do also subscribe to us on whichever platform you listen to us on, and leave a review if you have 30 seconds to spare. You can, of course, find us on our Instagram page at Take Flight Podcast. And we'll be back next week with a new episode for you, the flyers. Keep on taking flight and flying high.
Take off.